Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Star Trek Section 31 on Paramount Plus with Showtime or something. I just have certain kind of cable things and it was popped up that it was actually available to watch. It's always fucking confusing when they do those kind of weird things and rebrand and put things all together. But I was able to watch it even though mainly it was supposed to be, I guess, on Paramount Plus. And I'm mainly into kind of Star Trek of that I've seen the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Strange New Worlds, and then of course the Picard series. But I had not watched Discovery, so I was like, all right, let's just kind of check this out and see what's going on. I like Michelle Yeoh. Let's see what's going on here. And I think they did a good enough job of giving you an understanding of who these characters are if you are not that well versed with them. And the main one being Michelle Yeoh. She's the main kind of draw. And then we get someone from the Eugenics War. Alsk? What are you? Cast. Alec. Other than that, everybody else is kind of fucking weird. So we pretty much get the understanding of Michelle Yeoh's character, Philippa, as she was pretty much in this kind of tournament to become the Empress of this mirror universe kind of place, and she kills her family to pretty much get that. And let me see, what is it? Son? Yeah, failed to do his own, and she took this hot ass sword and burned his face, and he became her lapdog because of his failure. And she evidently got into the prime. Well, I don't know what it's called, but the main kind of continuity of the kind of reboot era kind of lost stuff between certain kind of things, and we pretty much get that Section 31. This is supposed to be kind of a spy kind of thriller kind of thing, even though Section 31 is supposed to be this kind of shadowy thing that doesn't exist in Starfleet, or doesn't it exist, and now it's just pretty much just oh yeah, okay. Alec's pretty much the main handler. We see that after whatever kind of events, she's just chilling in this fucking outpost, and that there's talk about some deadly bioweapon that is supposed to be for sale. And we see this kind of place that's kind of the Star Wars cantina. Any kind of space scene has that kind of cantina scene, but this one kind of is worse because they're just all humanoids, and they don't really go out of their way to make any kind of interesting, weirder kind of alien races, except for when we get introduced to certain kind of members of the team, of one kind of dude that's kind of like a Borg, but not really, and then one dude who's a really small person piloting, a really small alien piloting a pretty much Vulcan body, which I would think they would have rather have done a Romulan model if you're going to do strange kind of emotions, because that throws people completely off the bat, which is at least what they bring up when Philippa's able to pretty much peg all of the Section 31 team. So she's evidently the proprietress of this, oh yeah, they even call it the Prime Universe. The space station Baram, it's outside of Federation space, going by Madame Dufranc. We see the rest of her crew, rest of his crew: Mel, Delton, Quasi, a shape-shifting chameleoid, which was interesting. That was played by the dude that was in Hocus Pocus 2. Zeph, the user of a mechanical exoskeleton, and Rachel Garrett, no-nonsense Starfleet officer, and Fuzz. Wait, no, Zeph is the one that's the Borg kind of dude, and Fuzz is a microscopic nanokin who pilots a robotic suit that looks like a Vulcan. So they pretty much need to get Dado No, which is the dude that's got this stuff, but of course this then leads into a long kind of fight sequence between someone that's okay, that's gotta be San. Because we also get that she sees that it is from her universe, that San was fuck you, and pretty much killed himself, because he kind of hated her after everything that had been going on, using the same poison that killed, that Philippa had used to kill her parents. And she's why the fuck is this here? And of course, the other mirror universe is running out of resources, so San's pretty much doing this to become emperor and take over shit. And it really feels like a worsely told version of like a Star Trek Deep Space Nine story, down to it's got a station. The characters are just kind of theirs. They're kind of archetypes. We get the shape-shifting dude who really is kind of wishy-washy. The no-nonsense Starfleet officer that finally goes kind of crazy. The person that's the mole that's like working with Son, which is the microscopic dude who's acting a little bit funny, that you can see that if you care about enough, like watch. The thing is, the fucking lens flares and shit. And it doesn't help that like the action scenes, which I would like to see Michelle Yeoh doing some action scenes, they just kind of jump all over the place. The action scene of like her trying to get the bioweapon back from in the space station vastly goes too long, and they're shape-shifting. Like they found this one crazy trick where they're just kind of out of phase, and they're just like going through and running through the space station. It's like, wow, this is going on too long, and I'm bored. And that's about it with that one. And then they're pretty much kind of trying to track it. Let's see. Well, they take it's called Godsend. Let's see. Yeah, we get Alec's backstory from the eugenics war, and then was genetically enhanced by Jiri, and then had him commit atrocities in her name. So they take Data Node to a Section 31 safe house. And then, of course, that's where they learn everything about it. And because he's pretty much from the mirror universe, like, oh, okay. Then, of course, we see Fuzz sabotaging stuff, killing Zeph. And then they have to use this space junker to kind of go after him and go after San. Let's see. There would have been kind of cool stuff if they were utilizing the tractor beams on the garbage barge to do some more kind of tactical fighting. But I mean, I think they just like blew their budget on having Michelle Yeoh and whatever kind of effects that they kind of needed for it. I mean, this is not that long of a movie, but even certain kind of stuff when it's like not that long of a movie and you could cut shit, it's like, oh god, that's not good. Show me the runtime. Can you show me the runtime? It's like 90 some minutes or whatnot. It's not very long. But then we pretty much get that her and Alec pretty much get sent to the ship. We see that the Fuzz dude is trying to destroy the garbage barge, but I mean, no nonsense crazy lady now is able to like jury rig some kind of bomb and then fucking throw it at his ass and supposedly kill him, but it's not. And then we see at the end that they get his wife to help them out. Alright. Philippa kind of breaks through to San, but accidentally kills him, and they kind of make up as he dies. They're able to turn off the stuff because there was this opening to the mirror universe world that was very kind of similar and reminiscent of like, oh, okay, that's kind of the wormhole to the other kind of quadrant in Deep Space Nine. Alright. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, we're alright, cool. I mean, Zeph's dead, but whatever. They get their kind of team together. Jamie Lee Curtis is in this as well for some reason, being like their head handler kind of person, and gives them pretty much their next mission as the space station then for some reason enters warp. I don't know why it would do that, and if it was, why don't you have kind of space stations doing warp drive shit? It's like, hey, this looks cool, and then just fucking does it. But I really wouldn't recommend this because it's not really a very good spy espionage story. There's not really that much back and forth. It's very straightforward. And if you're putting this as like Section 31, you want some back and forth, some cat and mouse, some understanding of how this kind of works out. When I can say that, like, okay, I know this is going to be kind of weird, but when the Ocean's movies, that has a game of cat and mouse that's kind of similar to any kind of spy kind of thriller. Also like the Jason Bourne series, which incidentally they both have Matt Damon. But you get this back and forth and you're trying to figure out how each kind of player plays off against other ones. This is like it watched those kind of movies, just plastered Section 31 on it, and just said, that's good enough, and did the bare basic kind of minimum to attempt to do it, and not understood how to kind of execute it. You really don't get drawn into the character, so you don't really give that much of a shit if who the mole is. You're like, alright, what kind of plot demands this and kind of go through the motions so we can kind of get through this. I mean, I was surprised because I really did not hear good things about this, but it was not as bad as other things that I've seen. But that's mainly because if I saw those other things first. Velocipaster, I'm like, what? And you're probably like, you should be judging this harsher because this actually had budget and everything like that as well. And I'm like, yeah, you've got a very good point there. The thing is, Michelle Yeoh kind of at least saved it for me. She made stuff tolerable. Alec made stuff tolerable. The rest of the cast didn't make it to the point where I was completely and utterly annoyed, though I can understand Fuzz annoying the unholy fucking shit out of anyone within a 50 fucking mile radius. But Velocipaster was just, like, bad. I thought it was going to be, like, good bad, but it was just bad. This was bad, but other things were the things that were annoying me, like the lens flare in certain scenes of, like, showing, Philip and Sam love each other, but they're torn apart by... Like, I understand them going through the motions, and I've seen other movies and other shows hit these kind of things in better kind of ways. I am not adverse to two lovers pulled apart by the inextricable forces of their situation. But when you execute it in such a manner that I don't give a shit, good luck with that, motherfucker. So yeah, I really, if you're looking for a spy thriller, dodge this like fucking ain't nobody's business. If you're looking for a good Star Trek movie, dodge this. There's other better Star Trek movies out there. Go and watch them. If you need time to kill and you just need something in the background, or you really need something to watch, or at least something to like distract someone, or an animal or something, or a small child maybe, and watch yourself on that because of like the blood and stuff that goes on with it. Like, don't traumatize the child, but like find certain kind of scenes and like, oh, look at this bright explosion and shit, blah blah blah. It's like, shit, because I don't want you to traumatize a kid, but if you need something to distract, like put like 5 fucking minutes of something of them like going through walls and shit, like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, regulate what you kind of need on this. Like, there's certain kind of spots where you can be like, hey, look at this weird shit. It's like, and then you can kind of do what you need to do. I've never really had that kind of recommendation before with any kind of movie. It's more like, if you need something in the background, go for it. Not that you need to distract something or someone to get something done. That's a first. I don't... And that's the thing. I don't feel that my time was completely wasted, but if I could have been like there are certain movies that I'm like, I want my time back for that. Like, you motherfucker, eat my ass, give me back my time. I don't feel like that on this. Mainly, I guess, because I've learned something from it. Going through it and be like, wow, okay, this is not a really good spy movie, but I at least enjoyed Michelle Yeoh fucking she has fun with it, and that at least makes it bearable for me. Now, for others, that ain't gonna carry jack fucking shit. You're gonna be like, you're insane. Do not recommend this at all. I'm like, I get that. Yeah. Totally. Like, that is the barest fucking minimum that kind of saved it for me from double thumbs down and be like, rah! Kind of shit. I'm not on that shit, but if you fucking hate this one, I will not argue with you on that. Like, I mean, yeah, feel your way and everything, but I'm like, yep. You think this completely and utterly blows donk dick? I'm like, that's what you think, and that's cool, man. I wouldn't argue with it, and I wouldn't say it's wrong. It's like, yeah, this does some stupid shit. So, those are my opinions on the movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.